أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون. والحمد لله الذي من علينا بمحمد صلى الله عليه وآله وبآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في الكتاب المجيد والفرقان الحميد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حاميم والكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين. صلوات. We have reached the crowning stage of the month of Ramadan, the pinnacle of this month, the month which is known as Ramadan, and the night is known as Laylatul Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, Hamim. We have readily and indeed sent down this book full of all the evidence, that is Quran Majid, on the night which is blessed. And our purpose has been to warn. Amran min indina inna kunna mursilin. It contains commands from us which we definitely have conveyed. Rahmatan min Rabbik. It has come to you as a grace of Allah and mercy. Before I proceed to the subject that I want to deal with, I must assure you all that I'm going to touch on a very important subject, but I'm sorry that it might neither be short nor sweet. For everything cannot go the way you like and the way I like. Sometimes we have got to go and discuss matters in some discussion and some length. But before I do that, I said, we have to remember all our marhumeen who have gone by. For this is the night for which hadith says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pardons many and releases many souls from hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all our marhumeen and men and women wherever they are buried, inshallah, with pardon tonight, and Allah may increase their darajat, inshallah. And second duty I have to perform is for our people, mu'mineen and mu'minat, who have been taken ill. They are in hospital, some of them are under treatment, some of them are at home recovering. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may bless them, inshallah, with full recovery and restore their health. During this month, several 10-minute lectures were given by the young people, and we found out that the voice of the young people was reflecting one particular point always, that the elders have got to look after the interest of the young people. They have got to plan for the development of the young men and women. And they were telling us repeatedly the dangers they are facing in the phase that they are running through at the moment. Some phases which we as elders may not be able to comprehend and understand because it is beyond the pale of our experience, but they are going through it, and they have been kind enough to draw our attention that this is what is happening among the youths, and it is high time that the elders planned something for the future. Needless to say that we have also passed through that stage. Jab Atish Jawan tha. We have also seen those days when we were young and jab Pasina Gulab tha. You see, but those days have gone by and passed by, and therefore we cannot ignore the voice of the young people which came. And it came repeatedly and persistently. It came within those 5 to 10 minutes time, but the voice which cannot be ignored. What has happened? The Christian and the Jewish world, which has a strong lobby against Islam and is not at all ashamed to say so, it has been repeatedly broadcast that after the collapse of Soviet Union, the only enemy that we have is Islam, and a new term was concocted, a new term was manufactured, which is called Islamophobia. We used to hear about phobia. Phobia from the heights, people fearing to fall down. We heard about xenophobia, that means fear of the foreigners. But we had never heard of Islamophobia. But now this term has entered into English literature. It is being used by the politicians, including the Prime Minister of this country. And this is known as fear of Islam. But phobia is not simply fear. Phobia gives them sleepless nights also. Because phobia is a type of fear which comes from a formidable enemy. An enemy who has some power, an enemy who has some clout, some influence, and therefore it develops from fear into phobia. But they don't want you to convert into Christianity or Judaism. My elders and my ladies and gents, all of them, please listen and bear with me, for this is going to be the night of Qadr, and I do not know. May Allah give us all long lives to live till next Ramadan. But many of our friends have gone, and we are on the same path. We don't know whether this will be my last Shab Qadr or it will have other Qadr. Allah knows. Let me part with the message. They will not convert you. They don't want you to convert. And they know it is extremely difficult for a Muslim to convert. Unless he was an American Muslim from the very beginning, when he had no knowledge of his faith, and he was allured by a good-looking woman, some beautiful girl, or some money here and there that he changed. Otherwise, it is extremely difficult for a Muslim, after having entrenched himself in his faith, to change or convert. So what they are doing is that they are not asking you to convert, my friend. They are asking you to dilute. And how you dilute? You dilute by changing your values and by abandoning some of the values that Islam is preaching, and they are telling you that those values are now outdated and obsolete. Examples are many, but one of them is, of course, for example, only I say, the respect and the reverence that we are expected to have for our parents. Islam says, don't say even oof before your parents. If they have grown up, if they are elderly now, then bow down before them in humility and serve them. But don't even say oof. Don't reject them. Right? That is the type of respect the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Don't walk ahead of your father or mother unless he or she has instructed you to do so. Sometimes she cannot see the way, or she is disabled and she asks you, son, be ahead of me and guide me, or the father tells. Otherwise, I'm supposed to walk behind him, at least one step behind him. And when he appears before me, I am supposed in Islam to stand up. My father is come. You see, well, this is one aspect of thinking Just opposed to that, the children, the boys and the girls will bear witness that in the campus the discussion goes on as to why should we at all think of the parents. They never consulted us. Did my father or mother ask me that I wanted to come to this world? No. I am just a result of a happy union. And they married, and somebody had to come to this world, and I came. If I had not come, somebody else would have come. Do you understand the difference? The value is being diluted. Bertrand Russell wrote in his book on the marriage, there is a special book on marriage he has written, in which he has tried to dislodge the virtue of chastity, pak damani of a woman, from its very roots. The question of premarital or postmarital is not there. The question is, he has written that chastity is no virtue. That means for a woman to be virgin before she marries is no virtue. Now that has gone through all the campuses. Now the professor might not tell us, but the boys and the girls who are highly educated or going for post-graduation, they discuss. And my son or my daughter from this community is sitting there listening to the discussion and absorbs these things. And this is how gradually we find there is a dilution taking place. Karl Marx, who wrote his famous book Das Kapital, was a German economist and philosopher. Of course, in his time nobody appreciated him. He died penniless. He was buried here in England. But his book was revived a century later. And not only revived, but it changed the thinking of the people. Today people do graduation and doctorate on Karl Marx's work. His pivotal thinking, rather, what is called mehwar in Urdu, pivotal thinking, around which all is economics. And there is a famous jargon which was enunciated by Lenin when he took up power. Religion is an opium. You know what opium is? Afinu. Religion is an opium. Why? Because it is Karl Marx's philosophy that religion was invented by the rich people to exploit the poor. The rich people wanted to exploit the poor. The industrialists wanted to exploit the laborer. So they said, don't worry if you get no pay here, inshallah you will get in Jannah. They lulled them into slumber. They gave them that patience by telling them, inshallah, as they say, that if you lose your shoes there, if you're stolen, don't worry, you will get in Jannah. Many times we lose our shoes, especially rubber chappal, because they are all of one color and they are all of one size. So if it is lost, and I tell the secretary, chappal khawai Mulla sahab yaad hi nahi kar. Qiyamat ma sinter mal se. Not one, but 70. You see, Allama Iqbal says that the non-Muslims have got their treasures full, or Musalmanon ko fakat wa'ada yahu. The Muslims have only been promised that inshallah you will get a beautiful huri once you die. They enjoy the huris in the world. A Muslim has got to wait to get a company of a huri after death. A friend I had in Nairobi, I remember, who used to, poor fellow, he was a bit unfortunate. He used to lose his chappal every time that he came. Then one day I saw that on his chappal he wrote the capital letters, the initials, Mathalan AMMJ, for example, my name, carved on it properly. So we have our friends, and I said, my friend, this is something new. You are carved your initials on. He said, Mullah Sahab, do you know how many I have lost? Nearly 70 chappals I have lost. Now there is no way out but for a blind man also to know that it is mine. Because whenever I see somebody else wear my chappal, I tell him, but these are mine. He said, kya fark padta hai? I took yours, you take somebody else's. So now I have actually imprinted my name on this. A third friend sitting was there. He was a good joker. He said, now why are you worried? Inshallah, in Qiyamah, you will get 70 for each pair. So now multiply. He lost 70 and he gets 70 for each. Comes to 4,900. The man said, my friend, I want to enjoy Jannat. I don't want to open a shop, huh? When I go to Jannat, I don't want to open a shop to sell chappal for people. I want to enjoy the life in Jannat the way you do, right? So, the economy says that the rich people wanted to lull the poor so that they may not rebel. So they found out religion, right? Exactly during the same time, there was another philosopher in Germany whose name was Nietzsche. His jargon was, God is dead. God is. He said, Karl Marx has made a mistake. It is not the rich people who want to exploit the poor. No, no. It is the other way around. It is the poor people who wanted to exploit the rich. How? By preaching weak values like justice, sharing the wealth, giving in charity. These poor people, they invented these things so that they can grab wealth from the rich people by telling them that if you give this much, you'll go to Jannah. And this is being discussed in the university, at the university campus, that either this is right or that is right. Either the rich for exploitation of poor, or the poor for the exploitation of the rich. This was a concoction made by the prophets who came. Do you understand what I mean to say? And Islam has an answer to this. Listen to me carefully. And when you are confronted with such arguments, be able to answer. Islam says it is not having that makes you. It is becoming that makes you. Man is not judged by what he has in Islam. Man is judged by what he is. Do you understand the difference? I gave the example long ago, but I'll repeat it tonight. Behlul, for example. Now, as I said earlier, he wasn't a madman, but he simulated madness. He appeared to be mad. He wasn't mad at all. For example, he used to pass his nights in Kabristan, always. Somebody like me went and said, why don't you come to the town and have a good house? He said, you are a fool. People live there and come here to sleep forever. He said, they have got palaces and good buildings, they leave everything and they come here. Why should I go back? And it really awakened the people in his small talks. One day, after having studied the atmosphere and the society, he decided to come out with new clothes, with a new sherwani maybe, or kaba or abba, and a new amama, and a stick in his hand with a new pair of shoes. Well, when he came out for the first time, well, he used to come out in rags, in torn clothes. Today he came out. People thought he had won some lottery, national lottery. The attitude of the people changed. Salam alaikum. Yeah. People who never saluted him, never took notice of him, never greeted him, started to say salam alaikum. And he answered, yes, I will convey. I will convey. So people understood that some Hindus are still loose. Because we are telling him salamun alaikum, he says, I will convey. But whoever gave him salamun alaikum because of his new dress and riches maybe, he said, inshallah, I will convey. And when he came home, he removed his kaba and then said, you look, Mulla Asgharali has given you salam. Because I am the same man. Yesterday when I came out in rags, he never gave me salam. The salam is for you. So what is it? The value of a person is either by wealth or by himself. Allah says it is not by what he has, it is by what he is. Therefore, Salman a Farsi can go to Jannah without having anything. Understand? And even Nabi Sulaiman can go to Jannah having everything. You can be as rich as you can and still be God's beloved. And you can be as poor as you are and still be God's beloved. Depending upon what you are, not what you have. You have missed the whole argument. You, Marxism and Nietzsche, you have missed. You are judging them from what they have. Possessions and have is not the question. The question is, what have you become? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man istawa yawmahu fahuwa maghboon. In your life, if your 2 days are equal and same, you are at a loss. That means if yesterday and today and tomorrow does not show any progress, that means you are at a loss. What a deep saying it is from the Prophet. That we must always try to improve and see that. So what we become in Ramadan, what have we become? As the nights are passing, what have we become? There are certain bad habits of mine I have abandoned, so I have become. There are certain wajib I was not performing, I am performing, I have become something. There are certain qualities I had not in me, I cultivated, I have become something. There was some amount of knowledge I did not have and I acquired, I have become something. Just now you heard that one of the best amal on the night of Qadr is to acquire knowledge. Allahu Akbar. Sahib al-Mizan, the best tafsir that we have in our time here, at the moment, by Sayyid Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai, at the end of his 20th volume, where he is finishing tafsir. 20th volume is his last volume. It took him 25 years to complete. But when he completed, he writes there at the end, by the grace of Allah, tonight, Shab-e Qadr, 23rd Ramadan, I have completed. It means that to sit for ilm, to sit for dissemination of Islamic knowledge, to sit for in the service of knowledge and ilm of Islam, it was better for him than even amal of Shab-e Qadr, provided it is ilm. So what have we become? Well, that is important. And as life progresses, it is now what have we become that is the first question, not that we have. For that we have will go. Surah Dukhan, which we will read tonight, inshallah. It says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kam min jannatin wa uyun wa zuru'in wa maqamin kareem. Kam taraku min jannatin. How many fields, jannatin bagh, how many gardens, and how many streams running through have they left behind? وَزُرُوعٍ وَمَقَامٍ كَرِيمٍ, and their farms and their beautiful houses they have left behind. And all the ni'mah that we gave them in which they enjoyed, they have left behind. Nothing has been there now left. They have gone. They left. فَمَا بَقَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّمَاءُ وَالْأَرْضُ. After having gone, neither the heavens cried for them, nor the earth cried for them. Forgotten. What remains is what you are. The world will remember you in the process of becoming. So life is not having, life is being and becoming gradually. Now this applies to both, to individuals and to the community. لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ. There is a limit of time for every ummah. That means there is an ajal for me as an individual. There's a time limit. إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. When the day will come for me to go, the time, then it will neither go a minute ahead or a minute behind. The time is there, ordained. For every one of us, one day we have to go at the given time. Ajal is there. Similarly, the community also has an ajal. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ. When it stagnates and it does not want to move. where it becomes complacent and doesn't want to change, where it doesn't want to see what is the message of Islam in these days that we are living in. And this is what I want to say tonight. For 15 to 16 years we have been in this place. And look at the way people are squeezed. And the volunteer from there shouts, please go forward, go forward, go forward. Sometimes there is no room to go forward. Look at the way cars have been parked outside. Look at the way the ladies sit there behind, we do not know, with the children. We have been here for 16 years. The community has grown. And the participation has increased. Now what do we want to do from here? This Ramadan has come in winter. And the many Ramadans, inshallah, to come will come in winter. And there will be Muharram rites also in winter. We have the changes, and the changes take place, and duration is sometimes 10 to 12 years. How can we expect mu'minin and mu'minat to be in this discomfort for the coming 12 years? I do not understand. Therefore, the time has come now that we find another place. I don't say that we sell off this place, no. This place is in our sentiments. This will serve us. But the time has come for us to find another place. The community has got to be alive to the need of the community, where we should be able to purchase a land and have our purpose-built imambara in our mosque, so that the community can be accommodated properly. And then there is another plan. Whatever plan you have, you want a madrasa cramped like this of 500 boys and girls. Saturday workshop, the way they sit, the way they are accommodated, and many other programs that we wished to make and we could never make it because there was no room. The community has grown. And I said this, my friends, I said this in 1985, when we came here in 84, I said this in 85, and repeatedly I said that inshallah this place will grow into a center which will radiate religion all over the world. This will be the point where people will come and refer. I said this, and it has, alhamdulillah, become. For everyone is working. There is someone working for madrasa, someone working for workshop, everyone is working. It is not one man working, the team is working. And today, you go to any part of the world, the syllabus of madrasa comes from London. Yeah? The teaching syllabus from London, the books and textbooks come from London, Stanmore. You see, the answers to all the questions of internet comes from London. Yes. Gradually, this has become already a center. The references of the books, I cannot tell you, only I can tell you of what I am receiving, but there are many other gentlemen here and ladies who receive books from the prisons of America, are demanded in London, and they are sent out from London. The people are looking at Stanmore as a central and nucleus from where the light radiates. And secondly, I say this to my managing members of the Jamaat, that this is not only London's. There was a time when they said London, London. Nowadays London belongs to all of you. Even if you are in East Africa, London belongs to you. And if you are in America, London belongs to you. Why? First, because of its central situation. Secondly, who knows? Your son may come here and study and get married here. Now, where does he belong to? Your daughter comes and studies here and gets married to a boy who has got the right of stay. Where does he belong? She belong to. And this is how this community has grown from few to so many, alhamdulillah, and may Allah give us further growth. You see, but now is the time for the people who have got fadl from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and money. they should come out. And those who have lesser, they may also come out. For there is a land here only at a walking distance. I'm not talking of a land which is miles away. You can shout from here and somebody will hear you. You can give adhan here and they will hear you. Just behind. And why can't we go and see for ourselves? An expanse of land which is nearly 70 acres, out of which we can get 43 at least immediately for 87 years. And then let us find out when we bought this, may Allah give Jazai Khair to those leaders who bought this. For their courage. They went and they bought this. But when they bought this, there were so many hurdles here and so many restrictions in that paper that came. And I remember Marhum Azad Asarya, may Allah bless his soul with maghfirah. And Marhum Pyarali Virjiwalji, may Allah bless him also. And many others who came to my house and said, Mullah Sahib, look at the list of these restrictions in this listed building. And I said, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that inshallah we will be able to get all these lifted. And everything was lifted, except, of course, we were told not to change the shell, and the shell does not require to be changed. To those leaders, some of them are alive, some of them have gone. I said, Jazai Khair is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to those who paid then, and those who worked here, I remember some elders who are still here. They came here taking wheelbarrow and cleaning the whole thing, together with the president of the Jamaat, Haji Mustafa Chandu and others. That jaza cannot be lost. And Ahmad Dungarsi is taken ill. He is one of them. May Allah give him full shifa, inshallah ta'ala. Well, they did it. Now we have been here for 16 years. Now, you want to celebrate the millennium? It's not haram. But let us do it in our own way. Let us take one step forward. As the year ends tonight, make a resolve that we are going to a new place. Go and see the place, please. And dream of what we can do. You can have your own school. You can have your own school. You can have your madrasa there. Well planned, good accommodation. You can have Saturday workshop there. You can have sports facilities for our young men, and at times exclusively for even young women. What do you want more than that? Just go and see. If the community is thinking, we as mullahs, people, some people say that mullah ki door masjid tak. Mullah ki door masjid tak. He will only tell us about Azadari. No. By the grace of Allah, we are also enlightened people. Huh? We know the needs of a community, and we can sense it the way you sense it. No difference. That this community does not need lopsided development. It needs full every side of development. But did you understand one thing? I went at one place years ago. I will not name it because naming it makes it difficult. I went and that was in 1984, 85, when I had just arrived. I went there and they asked me to lead the prayers, and I led Namaz Isha with them. And the people sitting there, all of them, completed with me, Qasr. Except one man who knew the masala, the rest, all of them, completed 2 rakat. So the gentleman who knew the masala told his friend, Baba, Mullah is a musafir. He prayed 2 rakat because he is a musafir. You are not a musafir, you have got to complete. So one old man said, Ki wando nahi? He bought evidence. And he started giving 2. He said, no, you have to do it again, my friend. He bought evidence, nahi chale. If the remaining 2, just give it like that, you have got to start from all over. Masail was like this. The same Jamaat today, if you go and listen to the young people recite Quran there, you'll be amazed. These young boys who read Quran, the way they recite, the way they render, is something for which we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But where did it happen? Miraculously? It happened because there are people working on their minds. And if a Jamaat can achieve so much, small Jamaat, and even this large one, South, Birmingham, Peterborough, wherever we are, Alhamdulillah, the change has been drastic. But the change has been because the change was invited. And we are there to stand the challenge, to face the challenge. So, if we don't want to change and we want to stagnate, sentimental attachment to this place, I understand. Had it not been for this place, I don't, when people say, "Ana kitla paisa ave," I am not prepared to answer this. Ana kitla paisa ave. Because we did not buy this for commercial purpose. It may have price, but it has no value. Understand? This will remain and this can be used for so many purposes, together with that which is just. Why should we be told where to park, where not to park, when we can have our own place to park? Why should we be told when they can park everywhere, we cannot? Why? Because you are Muslims, because you are Shia Muslims. Repeatedly, the leaders of the Jamaat have told them that we are not terrorists. We are peace-loving people. Our record for the last 15 years has shown that we have never meant any harm to our neighbors. Our boys have stood here, our janitors have stood outside to see that public traffic is allowed to smoothly sail while ours were stopped. Wait till the public traffic moves. It has been appreciated by the public. Otherwise, who cares? Now comes Muharram. This place will be doubly full. There will be people coming from all places. We will have, say, 4,000 people, and there will be no room to sit. And there are instances of ladies. I understand, even this month Ramadan, one lady fainted. Fainted. Why? Because of breathing problems. When there is that sort of rush. And we invite people to come as much as they can, as many as they can. But then we should be able to accommodate. May Allah on this night of Qadr hear my prayer. And Mu'mineen, please listen. It is very easy to be an armchair critic. You know, no? Armchair critic. Sitting back and saying, "Adu che." If a man is in the sea swimming, it is very easy to stand on the shore and say, "Do like this and do like that." And tell him to enter. Sitting at the shore, Longfellow said, Longfellow is a poet, sitting at the bottom, boys, looking at the sky. How can you climb, my boys, if you never try? Huh? So looking only at, you are just there, and the man is swimming, and you tell, or he's drowning maybe, and you're telling him how to hit and how to, you have to enter and serve. Gujarati halema, subuk sara ne sahil ha. How can those who easily walk on the shores know what we are going through? The public is suffering. The public is suffering, but congratulations to this public which is so patient. It remains silent. In the name of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in the name of Aimma alayhi salam, they remain silent. They put up with it. But the time has come for us to wake up. And I put this before you tonight as my message that the community needs to grow, and in that growth it requires a place. Together with this, just a few feet from here, may Allah grant us tawfiq, and listen to what I have said. Ruminate over it. Think. If there are any positive problems, please bring it to us. We are going to prepare to deal with it. But let us not say, no, there is no money. Money is there. Where there is will, there is wealth. Money is there, provided we wish to spend. And I believe that will is, inshallah,